most recently, within the last month, I was helping out a friend. She sold two restaurants. So she had almost three plus $1 million, and that she was trying to 1031, and it was a nightmare trying to find the right product to place that in, and it was just a complete disaster. I wish I would have did this earlier so I could have gave her your number.
So I'm curious, Noel, what would you say is the biggest frustration when it comes to capital gains tax and the 1031 exchange as it pertains to any part of your business, whether it be raising capital, whether it be exiting assets? What comes to mind?
That we do take, when we're syndicating, we do take 1031 exchange individuals. I think the biggest thing is that people don't understand. They think that once they have the money, they can just go. They don't understand that they have to start the process way before they try to disperse that money or to actually execute a 1031. You actually are going to need an agent that's going to put you through the process. And sometimes I've heard it can take almost 4 to 6 months. And, for those stars to align where we can actually execute a 1031 properly. And capital gains, I was getting, I was getting hit on, my flips that I was doing in Philadelphia, especially, I think it went down a bit when President Trump was in office, but for the most part, I was getting creamed. And so that's what actually stopped me from doing flips any longer, because it wasn't worth it. And I was doing high-end flips. So, I was profiting anywhere between, 190 to 225, on a flip. But after it's all said and done, I was like, was it even really worth it?
100%. Yeah. We call that the blockbuster way of exit planning, right? Because you go, either it doesn't work for short term, right? If you're fixing and flipping within a year, you're going to hit ordinary income tax, which is the highest and the worst. Now, if you hold it for more than a year, then yeah, you can get some cap gains tax. But then if you're going to 1031, you're like, the whole idea is to buy low and sell high, not sell high and buy higher. And so it's this weird spot. And so we did about $46 million of exits in Texas last year, where they tied up land and they held it, not even really held it for very long, but it's definitely less than a year. And then we exited without having to do a 1031. So 1031 doesn't even work for short term, right? And so that's why it's blockbuster. The second thing you mentioned is the 4 to 6 months to align, the stars to align. Guess what happens right now when you're trying to sell and you're selling a 3.5% interest rate and you're trying to get a 7 or an 8%? And the arbitrage between the cap rate, let's say at 5, that's where we're at right now, and 8 is not very great. It's about a 3% difference for what it used to be the opposite. And so it's a complete nightmare because the debt is killing these deals. It's not the operations or the occupancies or the rents. And so now everything's out of whack. And so if you do a 1031, now you're putting yourself a chance to lose. And that's part of my story too, by the way, Noel. In 2008, the market completely crashed and we saw the 1031 hurt our clients. I was at Marcus and Millichap selling multifamily properties. And we're going, there's got to be a better way than just, you build this wealth for 5 or 10 years just to get trapped by the debt and the cap gains tax and running out of time. And then you just go, oh, well, let me just hand it back to the bank, or let me just lose everything that I've built. No. And so that's why we came out and we started Capital Gains Tax Solutions to solve this. In fact, in partnered with one of the smartest tax attorneys. And so we got a book called Building a Capital Gains Tax Exit Plan. And it breaks down how to eliminate the 1031 exchange forever, how to have freedom and flexibility, how to be out of debt. But even better, back to my original point, you can use the funds to partner with you to buy a real estate business franchise deal, syndicate, no 1031 required, no TIC required, works for crypto, business exits, high-end primary homes, real estate. The 1031 only works for investment real estate. And then you have to go into like-kind investment real estate, right? Yep. And so it's just broken. I mean, it's just old way of doing things. Any thoughts on anything I'm saying, Noel? I mean, have you heard of this before?
I echo all the statements. And most recently, within the last month, I was helping out a friend. She sold 2 restaurants. So she had almost three plus $1 million, and that she was trying to 1031, and it was a nightmare trying to find the right product to place that in, and it was just a complete disaster. I wish I would have did this earlier so I could have gave her your number.
It's a case in point, everybody. Don't get caught in the 1031 shotgun wedding where you don't get married to something you don't really want to be and you're regretting it, right? And so go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com and get the deferred sales trust. Understand what it is, and we're happy to help everyone out there.